So this is not exactly a logical comparison review because the Apple AirPods Pro are made to work with Apple phones and Samsung with Samsung phones, or at least an Android. And while they do still work the other way around, you do lose some functionalities and customizations. For example, the Buds 2 Pro can only be configured via the Wearable app, which you cannot do in an iPhone. Which means you cannot configure any of the settings, turn on or off any of the features, some of which come as off by default if you're using an iPhone. Now the good news is, if you have access to a Samsung phone, you can connect the buds, configure them, unpair, and then connect to your iPhone, and they will retain the configurations you made. So I am aware this is more of an atypical comparison. However, in the rare case that this review might be helpful for you, I don't know, maybe you're just curious, or maybe you have two phones, a work Android phone and a personal iPhone. I don't know, either way, I thought this might be helpful to just compare these two in their own ecosystems. That is the AirPods Pro with an iPhone and the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro with a Galaxy phone. So let's see how they do. By the way, this is not a review of the recently released Buds 2 Pro. I did, however, review them. You can click over here to watch that review. Also, if you'd like to know how to connect the Buds 2 Pro to an iPhone, I also made a video of that, link will be in the description below. So let's start with the design and with the cases. The AirPods Pro case is wider than that of the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, however, it is significantly thinner. If you're putting this in your purse, the size difference is probably insignificant. If, however, you're putting it in your jeans pocket, for example, I would prefer the AirPods Pro case as it will budge out a bit less. The AirPods Pro case also has a shiny white finish, while the Buds one has a matte finish, new on the Buds 2 Pro. I actually like and probably prefer the matte finish on the new Buds case. One thing to note though, the AirPods case is easily opened in one hand, while with the Samsung case, I'm not going to say it's impossible to open it with one hand, it's just significantly more difficult. And that, I think, is due to a couple of things. One, the form factor, so the AirPods Pro case is wider, so you can easily hold it with your forefinger and open it with your thumb. Also, there's a small indentation over here, which makes opening the case easier, and that goes to show the attention to detail that goes into Apple products. Would have loved if Samsung had that, but it does not. And lastly, I feel the Samsung case has stronger magnets maybe, so it's a more firm closing. However, that could also be an advantage. While I have not yet dropped the Buds 2 Pro case, the AirPods Pro case, whenever it's dropped from almost any height, it just flings open and the buds just fly out and scatter. So I'm guessing maybe the Galaxy Buds case would do better if it falls on the floor, but I am not going to test that theory. Now, in terms of the earbuds themselves, the AirPods Pro retains the stem, while the Galaxy Buds Pro case is designed to be more flush, and of course, there's no stem. Personally, I prefer the flush design of the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. There are rumors that the upcoming AirPods Pro 2 might lose the stem. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So in terms of design and size, I personally prefer the case of the AirPods Pro, but the actual design of the buds over those of the AirPods. That for design. Does that translate into comfort? And for me it does. The stemless design of the Buds 2 Pro alongside their flush design contribute to their comfort and also their fit. Don't get me wrong, the AirPods Pro are also comfortable. The Buds 2 Pro, however, are more comfortable in my ears. And a small note, ears do come in different sizes and shapes, so your mileage might vary. But for me, the Buds 2 Pro are more comfortable, and also they are more secure. I've had the AirPods Pro fall out of my ear on numerous occasions. I generally even have foam tips on them for a better and more secure fit. I haven't had any of those issues with the Buds 2 Pro, and they seem to be quite secure in my ears. So this round goes to Samsung. In terms of controls, these two have very different approaches. The AirPods Pro uses a force sensor on the stem of each earbud with a single press to do play pause, a double press for skip forward, and a triple press to skip back. And then if you press and hold, you toggle ANC or transparency mode, or you activate Siri. And that's about it. On the Buds Pro, you control them via touch gestures. All the tap gestures are fixed as well and cannot be customized. A single tap for play pause, a double tap for next track, and a triple one for previous. And then you have the tap and hold, which can be customized to either switch noise controls, voice command, or open Spotify. So in terms of core functions, they're quite similar with the exception of Spotify's and extra on the Buds Pro. However, the Buds 2 Pro have a lab feature to control volume, and for me that is wonderful because I really miss volume control on these earbuds. I don't always want to grab my phone, nor do I want to fight with a virtual assistant to have her adjust my volume. The Labs feature allows you to increase or decrease volume by tapping the edge of the bud, but as many of you have commented on my review of the Buds 2 Pro, and thank you for that, there are a few other ways to achieve that, which are more responsive and easier. You can flick your ear like that, or even tap over here. But my favorite of them all, and the one I found to be the easiest and most responsive, is if you actually tap your cheek at the end over here where it meets your jaw. This actually works flawlessly to increase or decrease the volume. So that for me gives the round easily to the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, because volume control is an awesome thing to have. Now, the transparency mode on the Buds 2 Pro is quite good, but that of the AirPods Pro is still slightly better. It's more natural, not by a lot, but still somewhat noticeably more natural, so I give the point here to Apple. And I think the same goes for the ANC. It's ever so slightly better on the AirPods Pro. This one actually was harder to gauge. The transparency mode was more evident, although only a subtle difference, but more evident. With ANC, I had to keep taking the two pairs on and off, alternating between the two, trying to gauge which one is better. And my conclusion, as I said, I think the AirPods Pro are just slightly better with the active noise cancellation. In terms of audio quality, as I always say, I'm not an audiophile, so I cannot give a professional opinion on audio quality. However, to my untrained ears, the Buds 2 Pro do sound better. Also, if you have a supported Samsung device, according to Samsung, that's a Galaxy device with One UI version 4 or higher, then you also get 24-bit audio. Of course, your source needs to be 24-bit as well, and although I haven't tested that, even with a 16-bit audio, it sounds already a bit better than the AirPods Pro. So with 24-bit audio, no doubt that would sound even better and better. So for audio quality, the point here goes to Samsung. Now for call quality, let's see how they perform in our call quality tests. So this is what the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like in a quiet environment. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Now let's see what the AirPods Pro sound like in the same quiet environment. And this is what the AirPods Pro sound like in the same quiet environment. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Back to the Buds 2 Pro, and now let's turn on a loud hairdryer in the background to see how well they cancel out that sound. And I just turned on a loud hairdryer in the background, and this is what the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like with the loud sound of a hairdryer in the background. Now let's go to the AirPods Pro to see how they sound with the same loud hairdryer in the background. And now the AirPods Pro with the same loud hairdryer in the background. This is what the AirPods Pro sound like with a loud hairdryer in the background. Now for the final test, back to the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. And now let's introduce some loud ambient sounds in the background to hear how well the Buds 2 Pro cancel those out as well. So this is what the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like with loud ambient sounds in the background. I will now switch to the camera microphone so you can hear how loud the ambient sounds are. And now back to the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Let's see how the AirPods Pro sound in the same loud environment. And now with the AirPods Pro, the same high ambient sound is in the background, and this is what the AirPods Pro sound like with the loud simulated ambient sounds in the background. So let me know in the comments what you thought is better with call quality. And now for battery life, the AirPods Pro can give you about 4.5 hours on a single charge and around 24 hours with the case. A 5-minute charge gives you about 1 hour of listening time. With the Buds 2 Pro, you get 5 hours with ANC on and 18 hours with the case, and with ANC off, you get 8 hours on a single charge and up to 29 hours with a case. So you do get a bit more juice from the Buds 2 Pro. So in this round, with slightly more battery life, it goes to the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. In terms of other features, Apple aren't generally known for jam-packing features into their products, and the AirPods Pro are no exception. You get no bells and whistles, ANC on off or transparency, and you get spatial audio too, but that's about it. The Buds 2 Pro have a few other tricks up their sleeve. For one, you get a few custom EQs, which you can select in the app. You get voice detect, which activates transparency mode when you speak automatically, and the labs feature to adjust volume. You also get 360-degree audio with supported devices. The AirPods Pro have an IPX4 water resistant rating, while the Buds 2 Pro have an IPX7 water resistance, which in theory means being submerged in 1 meter of fresh water for up to 30 minutes. So the clear winner here, the Buds 2 Pro. And in terms of price, the AirPods Pro launched at $249, while the Buds 2 Pro at $229. So my final thoughts, I conclude the same way I started this video. It really doesn't make much sense to get the Galaxy Buds if you have an iPhone and the other way around. Both are excellent buds, so clearly my recommendation is, if you have an iPhone, you get the AirPods Pro, got a Samsung, you get the Buds. Neither of them are miles better in any category to warrant any different recommendation. But the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro seem to be slightly better in more than one category. However, we are comparing the second generation Buds Pro. Well, technically they're the Pro version of the Buds 2, but Samsung did discontinue the Buds Pro, so in a way these are also the second generation Pro Buds. Point is, we're comparing the second generation, released just now, literally 4 days ago in 2022, to the first generation AirPods Pro, which were released all the way back in 2019. That's almost 3 years ago. So it's not exactly a fair comparison, and actually the fact that the AirPods Pro held up quite well in a lot of categories is impressive. Now, Apple is rumored to release their second generation of the AirPods Pro sometime in mid-September alongside the new iPhones. If you'd like to see my review of these when they're released, then make sure to subscribe to my channel to get notified when I release that video. And thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro versus the Apple AirPods. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and until next time, cheers.